Hello, welcome back to March's Planning Mess. We're going to go through week 4 in my everyday carry, which is a Sterling ink N2 vertical common planner that is compact. I've got it in this Hobonichi Weeks Tragen planner cover, which is kind of a nylon material. It's got the zipper pocket where I've got, some pens and Post-it notes. And then inside you've got these lovely card holders. It's hard to tell when it's a black material, but it's also got a pocket. I've got stickers, and anyway, this only comes in a forest green, which is not my favorite color. So these are pencil boards I put inside of the clear cover. This is the Sterling ink clear cover that's designed for it, and that gives it a much cuter design on the outside. Not much has changed as far as all of these beginning tracking pages. I am struggling to use this. I want to so badly. I think it's the location. So I'm toying in my mind with ideas of how to maybe put it on a pencil board or something so that it is moving throughout my book. I do have some of these things on smaller Post-it notes that move through the book with me, and maybe that's just a better plan than this. I don't know. I saw it. I really liked it. I want to do it so badly. We'll see what happens. Still going through January, so I haven't picked my favorite picture yet. This is I've got all of my goals moved over to this section. This needs to be whited out so I can use this page for something else. Not sure what, and so I haven't done it yet. This is my book reading tracking, and I'm also trying to track when I do the daily things on my to-do list. Yeah, you can see I'm not doing that very well. All right. And then I'm tracking symptoms. I need to update this. Not too much is going on as far as medical symptoms, but I would like to, other than the gut stuff, and so I need to get that going. Birthdays and doctor's appointments is what this section is, and I don't have to add too much to that as time goes on. Okay, here is my monthly planner, monthly view. I've added a few more of these Post-it notes. These are a youth class that I'm teaching at my church, and so basically who's in charge of teaching for that particular week. And then you can see I've got all my appointments and that sort of thing going on there. All right, let's go to the weekly section. So this past week. You can see I filled in my weather. These lines that are coming down and that you see here, that's tracking when I was actually asleep in bed. The amount I slept, then my sleep score, these are my energy scores. I like to keep track of that here, even though I also keep track of it in my other fitness planner. These little yellow dots and lines represent gut symptoms that I'm tracking. So, that's there, and you can see like I've got work and then my errands and things I'm doing after work as well. All of that's getting tracked in this section. I do like to have this overview and this spread. I am toying with ways to make that take up less space, but it may never. I may always just have this layout, and that's fine too. On this side of my Dutch door system is my rolling to-do list. And so you can see this is how I write it down. The days I plan to do it are circles. If I fill it in, it's done. This one I started, but I didn't finish all of it. That's why it's kind of a half circle. This has been a very busy week at work, which is when I do a lot of things. I have some Post-it notes here, which I will show you because I moved them to this current week. These are things I like to get done on my planner on a daily basis. These are like daily tasks around the house that I like to do. These are more weekly tasks. And so it's a place to mark them down. And because I was so busy at work planning a ski trip for the school, I did not get any of my planner stuff done at work, which is where I usually get a lot of it done, because I can have days where I'm completely bored and there's just nothing. When you, your busyness is dependent on tasks at hand, kids needing Band-Aids and ice and things like that. You just never know how busy or bored you can be during the day. So this was a busy week, so I didn't even touch them. It's not that I didn't touch my planner to do things in them, but I never like sat down and like checked, what have you done? What have you not done? So that's just how it is. I will try and catch up with them today. It's Martin Luther King Day, so of course no school, and then the ski trip is tomorrow, so I've got 2 days to kind of get things done and caught up in my life where I'm not actually working. This is just a glance at what this week is going to look like. I've started doing some things in here, and then this is moving into these Post-it notes. These were all in the other side. That's why this page is blank. It's basically like a dashboard for me to put my Post-it notes, and I need to probably get rid of this one. I think I have this memorized. This is like for my gut symptoms. I don't need to reference that like I used to, and it takes up a lot of space. This one down here takes up a lot of space, and it's just kind of ideas of things I can do with my time aside from my phone. And this one I should make smaller. But these other ones these are kind of my to-do lists. So like deep cleaning the bathroom, changing my sheets, cleaning the ice maker. All these things are things I want to get done on a regular basis. And so I'm trying to, I move those from week to week. So on my to-do list today, because I did not get it done last week, is the ice maker. And then I can move this all the way to February 16 and not have to have it here clogging up everything. So that is kind of how things are going with this. It's a system that's working quite well, and these little Post-it notes moving from week to week, I think, get my attention slightly better than my list in the front. I guess the list in the front is a nice way to just kind of have it left in this book. So I could always just say, well, I'll track it here on the Post-it notes, and then at the end of the year, go back and fill that in. That could work too. I don't know. We'll just see. I want to do the list. I just love it, but I know myself. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on here in my planner with my Dutch door system. I'm still very happy with it. It's still working well for me. I think the only thing when, this channel is called Marta's Planning Mess because I am always struggling to find the perfect layout, the perfect planner. And I'm very happy with Sterling Ink. I used it all year last year. And I don't see any reason why I would change to a different planner system. They have a lot of products, and the Common Planner is working really well for me. But this year, I do have 3 books this size that I have with me at all times, and so it is a lot to carry around. And so in my mind, it's always like, is there a better way? Would a bigger book that contained all of this information make more sense? I mean, I love the size of this and how small it is, but if I'm having to carry 3 of them around because I can't fit everything in something this small, does that make sense? I don't know. It's something I need to kind of sort through and hash through. This particular book I will be using only until the end of June because of my Dutch door system that I have for each weekly layout. It takes up 2 weeks worth of spreads to achieve that. And so I basically had to completely redate this. And unfortunately, she does not at the moment make the N2 vertical undated. She does make the N2 horizontal undated, and I have purchased one of those to use for the second half of the year. I don't love horizontal layouts, but because it's undated, I can pretty much do it with it as I wish. Instead of keeping it horizontal, I could fill it out for vertical. So that is why I got it, because I can do with it as I wish. But because I had to go through and white out everything and then fill it in, I was like, never again. I don't mind redating something, but I don't like the whiting out business. That just takes forever to do. So anywho, this is working well for me. And my only reason to change it would be if I found a way to kind of bring these books together. So I probably will stick with this size for the second half of the year as well, just because if I make the decision to go to a bigger book that would contain everything, and what I'm thinking in my mind is pulling my financial information into this book. That would not make sense to do in July, because the book I have for the financial information is going to last all the way till December. So last year was a year of trying a million things and trying a million books and just really making sure I tried every company that was out there, because all of this whole planning world, the Hobonichi world and the Sterling Ink world, and all of these Tomoe River paper planner people, companies out there, were new to me. I did not learn about them until 2023 in like February, March, maybe even April. And so I got my first Hobonichi cousin the second half of the year to use the second half of 2023. And anyway, this is all new to me. So 2024 was like, okay, let's try them all. Let's make sure we've left no stone unturned, and we know what we want to stick with. And so this year I am using 2 Sterling Inks, and I'm using a Hobonichi Weeks because I just like the cover better. It's a little harder, and that works better for my fitness planner, which moves around a lot from bag to bag and gets banged up more. So, but yes, I could totally use the Sterling Ink horizontal for my health and fitness if I wanted to. But anyway, that's what my lineup is now, and they work really well, and I'm very happy with them. And I'm also curious, she brought out a lot of really new designs in September for 2025. So who knows what kind of feedback she's getting or anything new that she's coming up with. I've just found out that they're restocking notebooks, and they're now going to be a different type of paper. And I'm very curious how that's going to compare to Tomoe River. So there's always different things that people can do. I've also toyed with the idea of making my own planner rather than getting one that she's created, just because I really like the complete planner layout. She does not make the complete planner in the size, nor would I want it to be hardbound like that. That's too bulky for me. I'm a take my planner with me kind of girl, and I don't want it to be that big and bulky in my bag all the time. So if I just used a plain notebook, I could use the same layout that she uses in the complete, but make it the size that I want. So there's lots of things that my brain is kind of toying with and thinking through as always. But for now, this works quite well. I may never come up with something that works better. But if I were to do any experimenting with my everyday carry, it would just be with the everyday carry, and it would be starting July. I will make myself finish this because I don't feel like I have this. This time last year, it was like, and it was more March, I just had this sense of uneasiness. I had overdone it with how many planners I thought I was going to be able to keep up with. And so I just needed something different. And so I just thought, okay, let's explore. I'm not feeling that. And I don't know that I ever will, because I've kind of felt like I've explored everything I was looking into. But it's, just tweaking the layout and tweaking the actual book itself. Like, how much can I fit in there? Maybe I want, instead of a compact, maybe I want a full year. And I can just use the extra pages in the back for stuff, because I'd love to journal, but I don't journal that much. In fact, that's one thing I did not show you how that's going. I'm a little bit behind on journaling because, again, it was something I kind of caught up with at work. But for January, I've got this goal page. It's just different things I want to be focusing on. I'm not referencing this daily. I'm just writing it out there to be like, this is how I want to do things. But I've got a place to reflect at the end of the month, what things worked, what doesn't work, any kind of logs, media log, like what kind of shows am I watching? What am I listening to? That sort of thing. So I've got that. This is where the journaling starts. And I think the 9th, I've got some catching up to do over the last week or so. But you can see I don't use a lot of space per day. Not even a page. This is a lot for one day. And that's not even a half a page. So I'm not a big journaler, but I like to be able to journal. I like to have everything in one book. I've found if I put my journal in a different book, it won't get used. So it has to be in here. So I could, if I had if I had a full year version of this, it would have twice as many pages. So I would have a lot of space in the back that I could track. In theory, I could track my, for sure the finances and possibly even the, my workouts. I don't know. I don't know if that's worth doing or not. I like having a thin book for my workouts because it fits in my workout bag, which is not huge. So I don't know, just things to think about. That's where my brain is. And yeah, we'll see how, we'll see if I think about this and start ruminating on it. I'm ready for February. I've got the February sticker kit came in, and I've got this cut and planned ready to go, but I don't know exactly where I will end with my journaling. So we will wait to put that in until January journaling has been finished. Anyway, this is how I'm using my Common Planner, and I hope this was helpful and useful to you in some way. And if you're thinking about getting this, I know they're a little bit pricey. I feel like I paid about $70 for this. Now, compared to what some people are spending on their covers, mercy, I've looked up the ones that I like, and they're like $200 or $300, and I can't make myself do that, especially because they're beautiful. They're leather, but I'm like, that would make mine even more bulky. This makes it bulky, but it's lightweight. It has this pocket in the back. But if you're thinking about getting this, I know it's a little bit pricey, but it is lightweight and slim, easy to clean off if you get it wet, or not wet, but like spill something on it. But it is nice. I like the fact that I can put all of my stickers and things like that in it that I have from my sticker subscription. And I have a place to carry my highlighter and Post-it notes and that sort of thing. Oh, I did want to show you one thing I have. So because I'm home today and I have like my normal to-dos that I would do if I was working, but I also have some household projects I want to get done, I decided to, these are Post-it notes that actually came like as a to-do list. And I've got these in the back, like there's 3 or 4 of them. And so I've got them here, and this is just what I'm going to do for today. And I've got kind of a more standard to-do list here. I want to get everything on this list done today. So I don't have room for that in my weekly dashboard with all those other Post-it notes. So I don't know. I think maybe I just need to find a way to utilize my pencil board more. And keep that as a dashboard, because when I think about ways of using, like one of the ideas going through my mind right now is using the horizontal for something different. And I'm going to just pause this and go get it because I want to maybe show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So this stuff is all organized by size. So let me pull out. So this is the N2 horizontal common planner. It's very, very sparse on the outside in comparison. I do like that the cover is black. I wish I'd had that option for the vertical. So looking in here, that's a monthly page. Let's find a weekly page. Okay, so you can see it's very, very light. That is one difference between last year and this year's designs for common planners is that her printing is bolder, which is fine if you're using it traditionally. Like, I want to use this as a vertical planner, but if you're wanting to use the space for something different, because it's bolder, it makes it more obnoxious to your eye and you might feel the need to white it out. So I like the fact that this is a little bit less bold. So one of my ideas, I would not use this as a horizontal planner because my brain doesn't work that well that way. I can use a horizontal for other things, but I cannot use it for daily planning. But one of my thoughts was, if I use this, I would rotate it, and that would be my vertical section. And rather than having, let's see if I can do this easily. see how this takes up the whole space. And we go from, I mean, basically if the top square would be 4:30 in the morning, and we go to like 1:30 in the evening, so almost 24 hours, I would not have as much space. I would not use as much space. I would only have, half of that. And so I would have to pick which hours I wanted to put in there. And I may just, instead of each one of these boxes being 30 minutes, can you see? I might make it each one be an hour. So it would give me a space to see my vertical layout, which is very important just for my brain to get that locked in. This is how we're planning our day. Once I see the spaces that are available, that's when I can fill them with to-dos. So maybe just using this area for my vertical planning and then rotating this way and having my running to-do list here. But then that would remove my dashboard area that I've been using for all my sticky notes. So if I had a pencil board that served as a dashboard, that would give me a place to do that sort of thing without taking up space here. So I don't know. It's not a perfect solution. And it is not what I intended this for when I bought it, but I knew it was a possibility. I've seen, there's a lot of people, if you go on Pinterest and you look at Hobonichi Week's vertical or something, you'll find people that have done this with the weeks. And so it is possible to make that work. And then they fill this side with just trackers or whatever type of things. Again, it's an option. I don't know that I would follow through with it, but it is kind of nice having this undated. I may find a completely different solution and not use this right away and have this saved for another time. I could make this up for a friend. I mean, there's all sorts of things I could do with this book. So I'm glad that I got an undated one. But anyway, that's kind of how my brain works. And I've pondered all these things for a long time, even before I purchased this. I don't know. Was I thinking about this all the way back in September? But it took a long time for this to come. So I've gone through several ideations of uses for the things that I got. But anyway, that's kind of how my brain works. That's the things that I'm toying with, the ideas I'm working with. We will see how all of this plays out through this year and through next year. So thanks for coming along on this journey as I talk through all the crazy stuff that my brain is constantly rearranging and sorting and trying to perfect into the perfect system, which I am fully convinced does not exist. And I hope you have a wonderful day.